The Tangent Egg podcast is aimed at a mature audience. It contains themes that are not appropriate for all listeners. It's important to note that we are not experts. We routinely have no idea what we're talking about and are just three idiots sitting around a table. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Tangent Egg podcast. I'm Seth, and as always with me is Swoosh and John Doe.
Waka waka.
Killos.
And first up this week, I think we're going to talk about the potential season 2 of Billionaires Doing Dumb Shit.
We could probably make a good TV show out of this now, like...
Funniest Time Videos, but with
Dance.
billionaires screwing up.
Yeah, no, I would probably watch that, to be honest. Be amazing. But, yeah, is it...
The
who's
catch will be
launching them
after
into
a
space?
laugh of fuck around, it's time to find out.
Yeah! Well, the thing is, like, who's launching them into space? Is it Muskie, or is it the other guy?
Hopefully it's a giant catapult.
We can dream. Like, this is when we find out they're not actually doing an orbit, they're actually being shot into the sun. And it's like, yes.
It's Virgin Galactic.
It's just a lottery for who's going up next.
Oh, okay, Virgin Galactic. Like, then they
The
have
other
a chance
billionaire.
of coming back down. Yeah, like, Branson at least, he's insane, but at least he's, like, somewhat safety conscious.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
like,
I've been on a few Virgin flights where I could fucking question that.
Better than Jetstar.
Yeah, no,
I
no.
don't like Jetstar.
oh, no
Oh,
one
no.
likes Jetstar, but...
Hey, you try fucking flying Rex, Regional Express.
Oh,
Holy
fucking
shit.
Tiger.
They just strap wings
Fucking
to a tin
Tiger,
can
yeah.
and throw you across the country.
Fucking Tiger, I swear, if you sneeze near their plane, it falls apart. Like, Tiger is fucked.
Yeah, I've been on a Tiger
But-
plane.
Yes,
That's
well,
a harrowing
but-
experience.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Season 1 was the test bed pilot season.
Yeah.
We got a couple going there. Season 2, like,
But it
I'm
really
curious what
does-
they'll do for season 3. Is this just the lead up to the following season?
No,
What
season 3
cliffhanger will this
have
end
to
on?
be when Muskie takes a bunch of billionaires to Mars and then realizes they need
No.
the working class to actually get shit
That's
done.
season 4, because season 3 has to be Billionaires in Space!
True.
I'm genuinely waiting for like how Muskie's rockets, they go up and then the fuel canisters, they come back down and they land themselves. I'm waiting for him to strap fucking passenger compartments on the outside of that so you can go right up to the edge and then you just
Yeah.
ride straight fucking back down again.
Fucking guaranteed it'll happen.
Like, just start selling tickets on that
Well, I mean,
motherfucker
isn't that-
and then wait for one to
Isn't that
detonate.
essentially
Yeah.
the idea behind what Virgin Galactic's doing?
Yeah,
They're
pretty
trying
much.
to fly
yeah.
up and then use the rotation of the Earth to do most of the work.
Yeah.
But like,
So, why not just... It'd probably be cheaper to develop spacesuits and fucking hockey straps with a bit of duct tape. Just put them straight to the outside of the engines. Wait for it to get high enough. They drop off. They come back down anyway.
yeah. The weird thing is, like, why are they doing commercial flights into orbit, to be honest? Like, I'm sure it must be fun in some way. You might get a bit of weightlessness. But
Because we need drama. We want something
that
to
is true.
happen
We
to these
fucking
people.
crave drama.
That's it.
Assuming they can get it running at any kind of a reasonable level, it would actually be significantly faster.
Oh, yeah. It'd be great. But, like, at the same time, there's nothing to do up there. Like, build a space station up there. Give them the full experience.
I mean, we did. And
But
then
when
we put
there's only like a
astronauts up
couple
there.
of hundred people on the entire planet that can afford to do that,
Yeah.
it's not economically viable.
No, it's economically viable if they fucking pay for it. If the billionaires pay for this, they can have their own little oasis in the sky. We'll just shoot a missile at it later. Like a directional EMP right at the fucker. It'd be great.
Alright, nope. I'm cutting this now. Nope.
We can't do that.
We're not going down this.
Fair. But we can send them to the moon and just leave them there. See what happens.
Let the sharks eat them.
Yeah.
We could send them halfway to the moon and just see what happens. Let them go.
Like, it's like the ultimate version of Survivor. Survivor Space, Billionaire Edition. They just launch you into space like, right, you're halfway to the moon. You have to get there. Grow your own shit, son.
You are halfway to the moon. There is 8 of you. There is oxygen for 6. There is food
would
for
pay-
4.
I would pay good money to watch a bunch of, like, fucking pampered billionaires have to survive in any situation that is not a fucking 5-star
Yeah,
hotel.
but it's not going to happen.
Yeah. But that would be great.
Because they've done all those.
They just don't know they're signing up for these kinds of trips.
Yeah.
They think they're buying one thing, and then when they're already on the ride, they get unveiled. Like, this is what's happening.
What was that TV show we watched a while ago? Snowflake Mountain. The same thing. They tricked them into thinking they were going to like a 5-star resort. I don't know how these kids thought they were going to be going to a 5-star resort when all of their parents are like, we fucking hate you, you're sponging off our money, get out. It's like, oh, suddenly, yeah, no, go to this 5-star resort, we'll pay for everything.
Because they're all the main characters. Like, why would they
true.
not be going to a 5-star resort? This is what I deserve. This is where I belong.
Yeah. And then they were stuck in the wilderness with 2 ex-army guys, and it was fucking hilarious. Like, I want to see that for billionaires. Just, welcome to the slums. I'm going to use my credit card. No, they were taken from you. Oh, great.
But after they go to space, what is Season 3 going to be?
Well, like I said, no.
Season
3
3
is space.
We're only at Season 2 at
I
the
suppose Season 2 is Edge of Space.
Yeah, true.
Season 2 ends
3 is when
with
they
them
get
getting to space. So Season 3 is in space.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
the
makes
end of
sense.
Season 2 is the cliffhanger of, will they come back down, or will they continue?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be fun. Then the third one is they get almost to Mars, and then just an asteroid out of nowhere. Just would that not be the most anticlimactic, hilarious thing?
Oh, that the first 2 minutes of Season 3, just wipe, start again.
Yeah. It'd be amazing.
Right, so I think it's time we move on.
Probably. We're getting into dark territory.
I already had to abort one of these. We already went there.
Yeah.
We're gonna move
Yeah,
on.
well.
Fuck, now I can't even remember what we're gonna move on to. God damn it. I know it wasn't the big thing yet.
No, it was, we were talking about the
Oh, yes,
Transformers game.
yes.
Because we were wanting a new Transformers game, and the monkey's paw was listening.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, unfortunately. We
Yeah.
were hoping for another War for Cybertron style game.
Yeah, true.
What we got is a fucking mobile-looking abomination.
That somehow is going to a console.
And looking at this, whoever made this trailer tried real hard to make this game look exciting.
Yeah. They tried very hard. Like, an A+ for effort, but at the same time, it's a C- result, to be honest. Like,
It looks so much like a mobile game, like not even a recent mobile game, like when they're first starting to do large-scale mobile development.
it's all flash, no bang. Like,
It looks and feels horrible.
yeah.
It's
My soul
only
hurt
it's
looking at it.
only
I've-
Bumblebee running around in an environment that looked like it was generated in the around 2010, like late 2000s.
Yeah.
It just looks terrible. It does not look like a game that should come out now.
The problem is, like, when I saw the link that I think Seth put into our group chat, and it's like, saw that, oh my god, it's Transformers, the thing we wanted, and then clicked on it, like, I am immediately sad and going to go and cry now, goodbye. But, yeah, that made me very
If
sad.
this was coming out on the PS2, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it would be right at home on the PS2, but we are now at the PS5. Like,
Yeah. That's why it reminds me of a mobile game. Like,
Yeah.
it's close to the equivalent.
which is weird for someone to get the Transformers franchise, like, get the rights to it to make a game, and then just make a fucking mobile game or something like this is a bit strange.
Well, the thing is, most executives, I would expect at this point, think that the demographic of people who watch Transformers are children.
Yeah.
I mean, no. It's... Kids don't really give a shit about Transformers anymore, I imagine.
I mean, they've had some...
Especially not with, like...
They've actually had a few good kid-orientated shows. Transformers Prime.
yeah, true.
And there was another one, I can't remember, that had kind of a weird anime look to it.
Yeah.
I like Prime because it brought in the T-Cog, and that I found entirely hilarious.
But, like... I always love Transformers as a concept. Just giant robots beating the shit out of each other. Good time. It's like, how do you
You
fuck
can't
that
ask
up?
much more for it. Like,
Well, the thing is, like, how do you
a
fuck it
very
up? You bring
basic
people-
storyline that just brings more giant robots together to beat the shit out of each other more.
Exactly. And it's like, oh, we brought people in to make it more relatable. Like, no, we don't need that. Just
No.
go away. We don't need humans. We just want to watch giant robots beat the shit out of each other. I will happily watch a Cybertron movie, but knowing Michael Bay and all the other people out there who have control of this, somehow a human will be on Cybertron, like without fail.
They'll get pulled through a sky bridge, and suddenly they'll be in Cybertron, and they'll be the only people that can save the day.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah. Like, I understand the need for, like, a audience insert of some kind, but you can easily do that with either a MIDI-con or any kind of low-level Autobot. They don't have to be human for you to, like, you know, do the thing. Humans will pack bond with fucking anything.
Yeah, we
like,
will.
Yeah.
The entire world was like, oh, who was it? DC's like, oh, you're not ready for strange movies, or these weird characters. Meanwhile, Marvel's like, we got a talking raccoon in a tree! Yeah! It's like, and the world loved it.
Yeah, they did.
Like, they are now huge. It's like, we will happily pack bond with the thing on the screen. Just do the stuff. Give us the option.
just let it look like a cute animal, and we're done. We're in.
And for the love of
Something
God-
we can relate to, something we want to be near. That's it.
Yeah. Just stop giving Transformers lips. I swear to fucking God. What is their fascination with making machines have mouths and lips?
Because it adds expression.
Yeah, because they need to be able to make it obvious when they're communicating. Like, if they just had an Optimus Prime with a moving, like, faceplate, like, like, that's just weird. But
just
then
the
you get
Power
fucking the
Rangers
Mandalorian
gestures.
with a bloke with a mask, and they still fucking manage it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work to get things across properly if you're not going to give something a face.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you just mentioned it then, the Mandalorian's a great example of that, where a lot of the body actor / voice for Jin is very good. So he can convey a lot with tone and body language.
Yeah.
You then look at something like Doom Patrol with Cliff. The body actor is doing a shitload of work to sell Brendan Fraser's dialogue. That dialogue is great, but like he's got to bring the energy to match it.
He's got to be animated. He does like the Power Ranger levels of articulation when talking. Like the old Sentai thing of like almost doing the poses.
You need a full body, like, vocal and out, like, the voice alone isn't enough. You need a full body to project the emphasis of this speech.
And they do a really good job, but even Cliff has some level of, he's got a little bit of facial expression. Old school Transformers don't really do that.
A few old school Transformers did have mouths. Like
some did.
Some of the lower ones. But things like, the big ones like Optimus Prime did not. He always had the face going.
But they want their main characters, particularly characters like Optimus, to be able to emote better at a camera. Hence why they give them more detailed faces, so they can actually do that. Yeah. That's why they keep giving them lips.
But at the same time, like, they look so wrong. Like, they do too detailed face, like, lips. Things like, no, just make it smooth metal. It's fine. It doesn't have to be intricate. We don't have to see everything. First movie I get, you wanted to show off the transformation sequence. But you didn't have to make their entire fucking head see-through, like, more or less. Like, just looking through the sheer level of gears and everything else. Like, guaranteed there was an animator crying themselves to sleep to get that going for months.
One of two things. Either some board director went, make it more of that, and killed an animator to get it done. Or someone let an animator off the chain.
Yeah.
And he just didn't
do
stop.
a thing. Impress me. Yeah.
Probably both, to be honest. Like they let an animator, like, alright, go. And then comes back, I did the thing. Like, no, make it better. Like, okay. But gave no direction. Like, just go. Do the thing. But,
How do I know when it's talking? Okay. You want that.
So, how do I know when it's talking? You know when you hear the voice we've like specifically chosen for that character and you see him animating?
And we point the camera at the character?
Yeah. Like, I get it, but I hate it. It's just so dumb.
I feel like if you were actually trying to properly do Transformers again, I know we have a new Transformers movie, but if you were trying to get the franchise kicked off again, I think you'd have better luck these days trying to get across the plate face instead now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, everything's a child of the Bay franchise right now, so everything's got to keep being greebly as hell.
The Bayverse fucked us for Transformers.
A little bit.
Like, I honestly hate it. It's like, we're going to get subpar actors and just really put all the money
They
into
went
CG.
from Shia LaBeouf to Marky Mark to I don't know who these people are.
Oh, fucking Marky Mark was fucking horrible. How do you get my space gun? Like, I wanted to smack him. He was not a likable character. None of them have been.
The only thing I remember from Marky Mark's movie is that he really needs to not let his daughter date that guy.
Yeah.
Who keeps
Like-
the law that says you can bang the underage girl in their wallet? Laminated.
That is a fucking red flag. Like,
Yeah.
that is fucked. That should have been shoot on sight. Like,
That is someone on the board going, oh, that's going to be weird. There's a way we can get around this, right? Shoehorn that in.
No, guaranteed someone on the board's like, well, I keep this card in my pocket. It's fine. Normal people do this.
My son had
It's
this
not
card
creepy
on
at
him.
all. Weinstein had 3 of them.
Yeah, I got it printed for my son. Oh.
So creepy,
But, like-
just so creepy.
Yeah, no. It came off exceedingly bad. Like, I don't like it. Also, it at least it had the stereotype where, like, the sheriff's deputy kind of thing was just incompetent. Because, like his offside, it was just a fucking idiot. I like the character they had playing him, because I've seen that actor a few times. But it just reminded me of, remember the Sonic movie? The deputy sheriff in that, how he was more or less just an actual bumbling idiot. Like, I kind of want if they do another, like, Transformers movie, I understand wanting to have humans in it, but just restrict it down to 1 or 2 competent people who are not military. Just like, I have to survive now and I'm bonded with a machine. Run. But that's all we needed. We didn't need the weird history of the Witwicky family, or Sector 7, or whatever the hell the other stuff was.
But if they're going to do that, go all out. Don't just tease it and then follow one little thing. Like, dive into that shit. Give me a Sector 7 movie, and don't just limit it to Transformers. Like, have them try and figure out what G.I. Joe is while they're trying to be in the background. Throw all the other shit out there.
Bring Action Man into it. Fucking Action Man. For a long time.
Have Sector 7 go along and try and figure out, is that a Transformer, and it's actually a fucking GoBot.
Yes.
No, that would be admitting
Throw
too
some
much.
other shit out there. Like, they're chasing Transformers and they find Thundercats. They
Yeah.
have a laugh with it.
Like, just embrace the campiness again. Like, they went a bit too, like, I swear to God, I say it a lot, but the Nolan Batman has screwed over a lot of franchises, because everyone's like, Batman did so well, let's make it dark and gritty. It's like, no, stop that. It's not fun. Like, they made Superman dark and gritty. They made Optimus Prime a whiny emo bitch in the last few movies.
The
At
last
one point
movie
he
in
starts
particular.
having- yeah, at
But
one
it
point he
also-
starts
it-
having, like, really fucking, like, gnarly looking blades and other shit. It's like, he never did
That was him as Nemesis Prime.
Yeah, fair.
And that
Nemesis
is
Prime was
him,
weird.
how he's supposed to look.
Yeah. But even then, it's like, why? It wasn't set up very well.
No, the movie was trash where he was Nemesis Prime, but yeah, that's where it's from.
Then it's like, we have Lemon Nimoy, we're gonna make him a villain. Why? Well.
Well, how about we talk about something that, while has less grounding, is much happier to look at.
Oh, yeah.
So,
It's gonna be like...
if I can find the fucking studio name.
So Seth sent me this as a way of making me feel better about the fact that Transformers game was shit. And it made me so happy.
So this is from Commander and Studio. This is a proof of concept for a project they're working on, which
We
is
have no idea what this project is, though.
it's a small soldiers thing. If you don't remember the old '90s movie, was it '90s or 2000s? I can't remember when that.
I
movie
think it
came
was
out.
'90s. Not gonna lie.
I'm pretty certain it was 90s. It was also one of the first demonstrations of a 3D printer on screen.
Yeah.
At the beginning of that, they 3D print the characters.
Yeah.
So
Like, I love that series. That movie. It was great. It was so dumb.
really good movie. Never got any follow-ups or sequels or anything, and I always thought that was really dumb because it was such a great idea.
Yeah.
They need to do,
Essentially,
like a TV show.
Maybe? I don't know. But essentially, military chips get put in toys. Toys go run wild.
Yeah.
The standard toys are alive thing.
It's basically Toy Story, but with weapons.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Because it's peace-loving monsters versus, absolute yeehaw fucking American soldiers.
Essentially, it's like the Avatar Marines from, Thingy's Avatar movies. Translated to a point where it's like, we have these nice, friendly aliens. Kill them all! And then they do.
Yeah. So, this company made an animation. If you want to look it up, jump on YouTube and look up Small Soldiers, War for the Necron.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Like, it is genuinely great. The movement is phenomenal. They have a really great sense of weight, which I feel which so many studios fuck up. There's a great scene right at the start where the main character, drops off a shelf, and it feels like they have the right weight when they hit the deck.
But it's not just the right weight, it's like the right movement for a plastic toy. Like, there's that little bit of plastic wiggle before it sort of snaps back into place. It's so
they've
fucking
got all
good.
They've got this wonderful, as they're moving around, you can hear the ratchet.
Yeah.
It's just it's so good. Oh my god.
And the great thing is, I love the fact that they still think they have functional guns, because they're just shooting, trying to kill each other with Nerf bullets, essentially. It's yes, I love this! The door slams, she's sitting there just emptying ammo into a glass door with a Nerf gun. It's I love it.
And, they bothered to actually set up some stuff in the... this is a proof concept. This is nothing.
Yeah.
And they still bothered, because they, the main character's looking for the necromites, and she finds a box that's got them in it. But of course, they've already broken out and are getting ready to make their escape. But she flips one of the boxes over, and it has a full backstory for the character on the back.
Yeah.
It's great.
The scene where all the alien-looking ones are about to walk out the door, and they all turn around, they all strike a pose, and one of them, pops the wings out, and it's, literally just folded out like any kid would play with a toy,
Yeah.
a kid's imagination of I gotta fight these things. Oh my god, this is so good.
I always loved the Toy Soldiers movie just for the fact that they were given military hardware and a shit ton of intelligence, so they started making death machines out of stuff around a house. At one point, a guy has one makes a flamethrower, but they're also, I noticed they're bringing back a couple of the original designs from the Marines, because one of the guys, the guy in the weird Doc Ock kind of suit, is one of the originals from the old school movie. He was the guy with the cigar. But
I think it's more homage than the same guy.
Yeah, it's homage of a kind of thing. It's just that character progressed forward in that internal timeline for that inverse, whatever it is. But no, I'm keen. It looks really fun.
The thing that I think is crazy is, so much of it's animated, and it's animated. Yeah. But the whole thing is animated. It's not animation over a physical set. Yeah. The whole thing's done in Unreal 5.
Yeah. And it looks fucking nice. Holy shit. They got some good detail out of it.
For a proof of concept, this is insanely high budget.
I hope it's either a TV show or a movie, but I will happily settle for a game out of this.
But the end of it where all the characters are busting out of the plastic, that plastic ripping open, and all the different little toys that are there, I want this so fucking bad.
I think these guys actually understand a bit of recognizability, because the original Gorgons all worked super well because they all had their own silhouette, whereas the Marines did not. They all kind of look like generic Marines. Some are bigger, some are smaller, but you really couldn't tell any of them apart. Whereas when you get the big group shot at the end of this one, it's every one of these Marines would be recognizable if they just were backlit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All of this could have just straight out been an ad for these toys. There's designated, here is this character, this is this toy. I was almost expecting the 90s, here's the toy, and they're all posed there with the prices underneath each of them.
Yes. That'd be great. They definitely took inspiration from the old school toy ads, I think, because I love it. It looks so much fun. It's campy and dumb, and I want more of it.
I mean, I should say, every time they do, the teams do their pose shot, it's just it's perfect. It looks exactly like here's the money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
here's
waiting
the
for those
marketing
fucking
of like,
signs.
here's your team, here's the bad guys, here's the good guys. Oh yeah.
Like, I am interested. If it's a game, it could be entertaining, just for the idea that your respawn mechanic would be taking over another one of the toys popping out of a fucking package or something. Like,
Yeah.
it could work. And just having little death machines, like making your own horrible things and fighting other toys, would be entertaining to me. Like, keen. Very keen.
To make a new character, you're Sid from Toy Story, literally pulling a toy apart to make a new one.
That's one of their ultimates. It's like a cleaner comes through with the broom, like, fucking toys,
Just sweeps up parts.
Yeah. No, like, the ultimate is a Roomba. Just a random Roomba.
Yeah, I found that this week and have been sharing it around to... Anytime someone's been talking to me this week and have been like, I'm feeling kind of down, I'm like, watch the Small Soldiers trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll feel
It
better.
works. It releases all the serotonin. It's great. But it does mean that people or companies are looking into a lot of stuff from the 90s and early 2000s that they can rehash and try and bring to the new system. There was meant to be a reboot for Gargoyles, which I think is in development hell now.
As far as I know, it is.
I can't find anything on this thing at the moment to say it's still going or if it's been cancelled. It's just kind of in limbo. And that was a great TV show. I would love to see a modern upgrade to that in some way. Like, and everyone's like, "Oh no, the original's best." Like, I get the nostalgia for it. It's good. I still love it now. But my favorite Ninja Turtles is still the 2000s edition. That was a remake with a more anime style, and I don't think it's been topped yet.
I'd agree personally.
Like,
I'm still a sucker for the originals, but
There's
originals
nothing
good.
wrong with that.
actually, did you ever see they had a movie which was the originals meet the 2000s one?
yeah, the time travel episodes that they do.
Yeah, it's like all the the different universes coalescing, and then they meet the original comic version kind of thing. But I just love the fact that at one point they're like, we have to cross the dimensions, and it's like Donnie, like the 2000s version of Donnie's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna need a bunch of tech, and I'm gonna need like at least 3 days. Meanwhile, the other Donnie's like, did it? Like, how? Like, well, I had this torch, right? So I fucked with the insides, and now we have a portal. Like,
Yeah.
that's not how anything works. How does what?
It's the 80s. It's how everything works.
You just
And, like,
reverse
halfway-
Microwaves are magic.
Yeah, halfway through a conversation, it's like, we should definitely go do that important thing. But first, we have to go save April O'Neil. And just cuts to the 80s one saving April from a bunch of vegetables. And it's never mentioned again. Even Mikey is like, what just happened? Like, oh no, it's fine, it's over now. Like, no, guy, what happened? It's like, no. I loved that crossover. It was so fucking dumb. And I loved every second of it.
See, that's a studio actually embracing the camp of what a show should be. Like, have your new version, but it did come from somewhere.
Yeah. You're going to pay homage originally, like to the original stuff, which is good. But, yeah, no, I have high hopes, and knowing our luck, they're going to be dashed spectacularly in the long run. But for now, I have hope, and that keeps me going.
Look, even if all this does is reinvigorate Small Soldiers as a property,
Yeah.
I'll take that. More people should watch that movie. It's really
It's
good.
a great movie.
It
is
watching
so
that makes me
camp.
want to watch Small Soldiers again.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going
I'll
to
go ahead and
rewatch Small Soldiers.
find
I'll
it again, because
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched that in probably since it came out, probably.
Yeah. I don't think it's on any streaming platform. It would probably be on Disney Plus, if anything. Because
I have to have a dig around. It'll be somewhere.
Yeah, I think it falls under.
But it's look, honestly, track it down.
Worth watching.
It's worth your time. Absolutely.
Like, it is just the bare bones of a story, really. It's just, and it's done well.
Although, like,
Yeah.
be ready for some, like, early 2000s, like, late 90s, early 2000s level CG.
oh
yeah.
fuck, yes. Like, honestly, I think it holds up, because they did a lot of prop stuff as well.
Well, the thing that
some of it
helps
not so
is
much.
that 90s CG looks really plasticky,
Yeah.
They're
And dealing
toys.
with toys. It worked really well.
but they did do a lot of prop stuff.
Oh, God, the Barbie scene. The fact that Barbie signed off on that, actually no, it wasn't Barbie. It was there was an off-brand thing they used. It wasn't actually Barbie.
But the implications that it was Barbie.
Yeah, like the fact is like I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
God.
But
I can't remember what the guy's name was, but all I remember is I'm the leader of the Gorgonites.
Archer, emissary of the Gorgonites.
That was it.
Yeah. That's that just popped into that is ingrained. Greetings, I am Archer, emissary of the Gorgonites. It's in my head and will never leave. Like, the problem with like watching shit in your formative years, it stays there forever.
Yeah.
I still remember the original Dungeons and Dragons movie. I loved that movie.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
so bad. But oh god, that was a dumb one. Keep forgetting that had a sequel. But
Oh, yeah, Dungeons and Dragons thing, yeah.
yeah, no one ever remembers the sequel because it was even worse.
Yeah, it was pretty shocking.
I have them both on DVD.
Nice.
Yeah, I've watched them both several times. I love them.
They're
They are
fucking
fucking
great.
terrible, but I love them.
I did enjoy the new the new Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. Like, I'm angry at Wizards of the Coast, but I did like that movie, and it annoys me.
They did so much stuff where I'm like, I swear I've done this in a game somewhere.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
still like the point where he's distracting them with the illusion and starts to lose focus on the spell. It was like the
Yeah.
head shrinking into the shoulder.
the end of the loot, just the droop.
Yeah.
Yes,
It just got me.
Oh,
The-
it's great.
But like when they were like, how do we get into the truck? Well, we're gonna just sort of attach the mirror to the bottom of it, and then we'll cut through the
Yeah.
hole in the mirror, and then we'll put
Yeah.
the mirror inside.
Yeah, and like
I like,
players do that shit. Like players will break your game.
I am almost sure I've done something like that. It's just,
Yeah.
it's so player brain that it's just like someone who wrote this movie definitely knew that what players do.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh.
at least a bunch of DMs came together with a bunch of horror
And
stories. Like this is what my players did.
And the bit near the end where they're like, we want to make it rain gold. We're not just going to put it on the balloon. I'm going to aim so that it's coming out his mouth so it looks like he's vomiting gold.
Yeah.
I was like, honestly, as a villain, he did really well.
Yeah, he did actually. It was really good.
Like that scene where he's sitting with the guy's daughter, and it's like, you thinking there's good in me makes me almost believe it's there. I'm like, oh, foreshadowing.
I love the way he's... The thing he did really well, particularly I think, was when he was with they first show up, and he's letting them talk about how they escaped, did all this stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't know at the time that he's just letting them just create their own news.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
letting them hang themselves.
Like, that's what makes it so good, because it doesn't feel like a trap. It feels like
Yeah.
they found their friend, and he's going to help them. Until he's ready to be like, yeah, but if he cared about you, he wouldn't be lying, and then throws the wanted poster down. It's just like,
Yeah.
wow, that's some quality villain writing.
Yeah,
That is
that's a DM who actually had a plan.
Yeah, that's the GM with like the massive binder full of shit. Like,
Oh yeah. So I don't just have a backstory. I've got a back world. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
it's a big world, not all of it's your level.
Yeah. Great movie, honestly. If you haven't seen, what was it, Honor Among Thieves?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fix that.
I think
Watch it.
We're getting a list of them at the moment. Like we like, all right, you have to watch the other two Dungeons and Dragons movies. You have to watch Small Soldiers, and you have to watch Gargoyles because why would you not?
I mean, it's a bit rough. It's a bit of a 90s show.
Oh yeah, it's definitely rough. It is in that era of Saturday morning cartoon where they still showed cartoons on Saturday morning. But don't know if they still do that.
I don't know. I grew up in the years of Saturday Disney and Cheese TV.
Saturday Disney and Cheese TV.
Saturday
and
Disney,
then,
Cheese TV, Agro's Cartoon Connection.
oh, I miss Aggro. Aggro was great. The guy puppeting Aggro, not so much.
No,
but
he
Aggro
was apparently a giant piece of shit.
Oh yeah, he was an absolute horrible human being. But Aggro was fun.
That was the glory days of Satam, like early morning cartoons in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it slowly morphed into other things, like Toasted TV came out. It's like, why would you change it to, like, just... And it was all based out of Dreamworld, I think? For
Or
Australia?
SeaWorld? One of those two.
Yeah. It was the parks here in Brisbane, essentially. But it was just,
Yeah, no.
not the same.
No.
Nah.
I'm honestly surprised there was, like... Okay, I'm not, because they lost the two hosts of Cheese TV. Or they fired them. I don't actually remember what the story there was. Point is, they were no longer working for the network. But it was still like, why did you get rid of Cheese TV? Could you have not gotten any new hosts in?
Yeah. Like, you could have just kept using the set and replaced the hosts. I mean, that's how Saturday Disney did it for, like, God knows how long.
I mean, it's how Toasted TV's done it.
Yeah. Like, just cycle them through. Be fine.
But
Kids are dumb.
at the same time, fucking Ryan and Lappin were great hosts for that show.
Oh, they were. They were so much fun. Apparently insane now, but, you know. Or at least one of them is. One of them is very anti-fur and causes issues at conventions.
Don't know about that. Don't want to look into it. I'd like to keep my memories as they are.
Yeah.
Well, shall we move on to the next thing we were going to talk about, which is, of course, the biggest gaming thing that's going on right now with the, what is it, FTC versus Microsoft?
The Xbox Smackdown.
The shit show of this year. Like, holy shit.
Oh, look, take it away, John Doe. You follow this more than anybody else here. You have the floor.
So,
Sorry, before you start, the instant facepalm that we just saw there, like...
everything about this is the person leading the FTC who brought this case up. I don't know how the fuck how they've still got a job or how they're going to keep a job after this, because this is what they've brought to case has been the most frivolous thing in a very long time. Like, the FTC got absolutely smacked when they went against Facebook, or Meta as it were, buying the VR companies when they wanted to dive into the metaverse. They got absolutely hammered there. That was just a walk in the park compared to what they're copping with this. Holy shit.
Like, it's not great.
No,
I think a
really
lot of it
isn't.
hinged on Sony backing them, and then Sony just kind of fucked them.
FTC may as well, like, pull down the FTC label and rename themselves Sony lawyers at this point.
Yeah.
Because they've done more to push Sony's agenda than they have anything else. Like, they're meant to be a commission to help consumers. Like, the very first day of it, they mentioned Sony 77 or 78 times. They mentioned consumers 11 times. Everything in it is how this will affect Sony.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with consumers. Like, this deal is a good thing for us consumers. Shit away it's better than Sony having its monopoly.
Okay, the problem is, like, it cuts both ways.
Yeah.
Microsoft owning it, they have said we're going to keep multi-platform, and that's awesome. That's good. More products in fewer hands is worse, but
true.
Microsoft's at least willing to come to the table and go, "Hey, everyone can have a little piece of our pie." Sony wants to own everything and keep it for themselves.
Yeah, it's the lesser of the evils, but still kind of evil.
Well, there's been a lot of, like, debate on it. So Microsoft want to bring everything that ActiBliz produces to Game Pass or to multi-platform services. Apparently that also includes WoW. In this, they spoke about other subscription services, and they directly asked Bobby Kotick, like, where do you stand on subscription-based games and so multi-game subscriptions as well as a game with a single subscription? And they said, well, we've already got a game. We've got WoW. It works really well as a subscription-based game, but it doesn't work for a lot of games. But if this were included in a multi-game subscription, that could be a big difference.
Yeah.
So if they included WoW onto PC Game Pass...
Oh, yes.
You'd probably get
that
me playing
would be
WoW
fucking
again.
massive.
Yeah, like, you would see a massive bump in people playing.
Even if they upped what a WoW subscription is, I don't know, I never played WoW. I never interested in me, but
You dodged
even
that
if it
bullet,
was,
well done.
even if it was $30 a month or $20, $10 a month, whatever the fuck it is, if they up that by $5 and gave you a bit of time on Game Pass, they could that's a massive market expansion.
Yeah.
But there's been a whole heap of things in it. Like, the FTC were trying to... They wanted Phil Spencer to pretty much... They're trying to back him in a corner saying, no, we're not going to... we're going to stop bringing COD to PlayStation. They kept hanging on to him. Are you going... you guarantee you're going to bring it there for a PlayStation console for the next 10 years? You guarantee you're going to do it? He goes, yeah. We've offered them the deal. We're going to do it.
We do it.
But, there's no money, and if we keep it to ourselves, that's a big market. Obviously, they're the fucking industry leader. We want that fucking money. We're going to keep it on everything. And they hound him for a while, and they're obviously not expecting him to say yes. And then they start trying to change it up. Well, what about Diablo? Well, Diablo's already on PlayStation. Why would we stop producing that? The fuckload of copies already got sold there. The seasons are coming out. Shit, there's more money. Why would we fucking stop that? And yeah, everything about it, every time the lawyers came out saying, well, what about this? Yeah, we're doing that. Are you going to change this? No, we're going to keep going because it's a multi-platform company and it's making a fuckload of money.
Yeah. The weird thing is, the way that lawyers work in any kind of case is the only time they're asking you a question should be when they already know the answer. They're asking questions that just make Microsoft look good with their answers. Did you not know this was the answer, or did you not care?
I think they wanted them to sound more money grubby.
Yeah, but the FTC brought in their own expert that done expert analysis on the effects of taking COD away from PlayStation. In his analysis, he only compared Xbox to PlayStation, so he cut Nintendo and PC gaming out of it. His analysis only worked for extremely specific data entry. If you change the variables at all, it didn't work. The whole thing fell apart. Yeah. And when he was questioned on anything, they questioned him for 2 hours. He didn't answer a single question. He danced around everything to the point where the judge stopped him and said, no, answer this question to me. I want an answer, not a dance around. And he still wouldn't answer the question.
Wow, that sounds fun.
He was the star economist for the FTC who did all the analysis stating that this would cause massive damage to Sony. Not it'd be good for consumers or it'd be good for anyone else, just damage to Sony.
Yeah.
And he couldn't answer, or not that he couldn't, he just didn't answer a single question.
Give a straight answer to it.
He was told, you'd be better off as a politician.
No, nice. Yeah, fair.
Everything, no straight answers, just danced around everything.
I think my favorite thing that I've seen that's come out recently from this was the thing that part of the reason Microsoft went and bought Bethesda was because Sony was trying to set up exclusivity.
Well, they did it for Ghostwire and that time travel game that I can't remember the fucking name of. That one.
So Microsoft was basically like, well, okay, you're forcing our hand. We're going to have to buy them or get locked out.
Yeah.
And then it came to that they were trying to do the exact same thing with Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sony's shitting the bed over, you were trying to make it exclusive to Xbox. We were doing that, and that's why you want to buy them.
We're stopping you from making exclusive to PlayStation. That's what we did.
What's really funny is PlayStation's whole thing is we want this game exclusive to Sony. Yeah. We want this game. And Xbox's answer to that is, you want a game. We want the company. Fuck you. Yeah. We're not just going to buy the fucking rights to the game and have it exclusive. We'll buy the entire company and fuck you completely.
Well, see, that's the thing.
They're not even fucking them. It's we're still going to give you the game. You can still have it. It's just we run this shit. It's that's very nice, actually.
In an email they had from 2009, they pretty much just said, we've got the budget. We could just spend Sony out of the business.
Yeah.
Like they had a list of companies to buy. There was was it Sega? They were going to buy back, or they were looking at buying back Bungie, IO Entertainment, Square Enix. They wanted to put in a thing for CD Projekt Red. There was a whole list of fucking companies. I was just like, well, why not just buy companies? Fuck it.
Yeah. Like, why buy the cow? It's like, why have the milk? Just get the cow, sell the milk.
Yeah, like it's the only thing that's really they've brought out that's sort of gone against Microsoft. But even then, they haven't been able to tie it to any of their key points to say why they shouldn't be able to buy ActiBliz.
Yeah. I mean,
It's the
FTC at
only,
this
like,
point-
it's not a smoking gun, but it's a
Yeah.
gun that's been fired recently, and you might be able to smell smoke near it.
you can get the residue off it, be fine.
Yeah.
Then there was that thing that came out that showed that for like a good number of years now, Microsoft has been like third banana.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're not even the guys at the top of the pile and being like, oh yes, Dragon Horde, I must have all of the companies, I am the best.
Yeah.
No, they're bronze medalists at best, and it's just like, yeah, we're just doing our thing.
And it's been that way since the Xbox One.
Yeah.
The
weird thing
360 was the last time that Xbox had more than a 40% share, I think it was.
Yeah.
Since then, they've been around 30%.
It's literally
So-
like Sony has the market lead, and they really don't want to relinquish that.
No.
No.
So they're trying to bring in government agencies and other things like stop this from happening. It's like,
Well, but
Alright.
like, Sony was king for PS2.
yeah.
PS3 came out and they shat the bed, and 360 fucking jumped through the roof.
Well, the problem with the
Yeah.
PlayStation 3 is they went for that $700 price tag.
Yeah, well,
Ugh.
the price point, they went for backwards compatibility for the very first generation 60 gig consoles, and they killed that.
Yeah.
They kept
'Cause it
doing
was
steps where they
expensive.
kept fucking over people.
Oh, and the cell
and
architecture
the
was a nightmare to program for.
Ugh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once the PS4, Xbox One came out, like, Xbox made some dumb fucking had some dumb ideas for that. But Sony cashed in massively on the PS4, and they don't want to let go of that again. Like,
No.
they experienced being second rung on the PS3, and no way in fuck are they going back to that second rung. Like, they'll do anything they can to hang on to it.
I
They've
swear
already come out saying, like, when Microsoft first came out saying we're going to buy ActiBliz, the head of PlayStation came out and said, we're going to be fine. Like, they're not going to take it off PlayStation. Like, they'd be dumb if they fucking did. Like, he knows it. They've got the paper evidence. They've got the email chain saying, we're going to be fine. We've got some really good things coming up with Bungie. We've got some other great games coming up. This is going to be perfectly fine for us.
Yeah.
Their whole fucking argument saying they're going to take it exclusive was already redundant. They already knew it wasn't going to fucking happen.
Yeah. Like, it's
But-
just dumb. Whoever brought this forward to, like, the case forward, I think this is a career ender for them.
Well, it's becoming more and more obvious that it's a political ideal. They just don't want tech industry to grow or change at all. They want to stay where it is and where where they're currently at, which doesn't fucking work. Like,
No.
businesses are meant to grow and change and develop, and yeah, it's a fucking dumb idea.
It's fucking stupid. I hate every second of it because it's again just very rich people quibbling over more money, and I don't
But
get it. But also, Sony's hubris is gonna fuck them because they don't see anyone as a threat until suddenly they're a massive threat and they must be destroyed. It's like at the moment, like Xbox and Microsoft have been the banana for God knows how long, and suddenly it's like, oh shit! If they buy this, they become an actual threat to our bottom line in some way or another, even if it's a small faction.
In the proceedings of this, it's come out saying that Call of Duty on PlayStation is worth $800 million a year alone.
Yeah.
Just COD. So that's big fucking money.
Yeah.
Like, that can make their money back relatively quickly just on that. But they also get King, which is a multi-billion-dollar company a year.
Sure.
So, like, they're going to make their money back quickly. And through all of this, they've said, like, we want everything to stay multi-platform because it's good money. All we really want out of this is to crack into the mobile market. As soon as this deal goes through, overnight, I think King has got like 20% of the mobile market industry, whereas currently Microsoft has less than 3%. They're going to jump up to over 20% immediately.
Yeah.
That's a fuckload of cash and a fuckload of player base.
That is a decent fucking jump.
Yeah.
And if you even just bring a fraction of those people across from mobile gaming onto actual like console gaming or PC gaming, holy shit!
In this, there was also like I've seen mention on a couple of things that they were talking about bringing Game Pass to other services. So having a Game Pass store on phones for particular games. So if you can have an entire library, why would you download them from the Play Store or the Apple App Store or anything? So have all the King games on that, and whatever other dev wants to release on that, one subscription, play any game you want.
Yeah.
That's a big fucking market base. Have that one subscription. You can also play the games on PC. Oh, and your Xbox. At some point, or in these proceedings, they also tried to discuss with Sony and Nintendo of opening up a version of Game Pass on other consoles. And that was very much met with a fuck no.
Yeah.
Told you, they're getting out of the console market, they're getting into the service game.
Yeah. It's a good way to go. Like,
yeah,
it works. And all we want is access
until
to
there's
good games for a cheaper price.
a viable internet service that everyone can actually fucking use, because you still need a platform to be able to run the fucking game. If you had Game Pass on PlayStation, you'd have to have the PlayStation versions of those games, unless you want to run them from the cloud, which is a shit fucking experience. You're trying to run an Xbox game from a PlayStation via the cloud is going to be fucking terrible.
Something somewhere would catch fire and just scream in pain.
Probably the PlayStation.
But
Yeah, most likely.
Even then, like, to me, the PlayStation's just not a good buy anymore.
No.
Like, it doesn't have the robust setup of library. It sadly didn't have anything to show off at Game Fest.
Oh, yeah.
No. They already spent all their money buying exclusives the last few years.
Yeah. So this year they've got nothing. So think about it. If you were
Final
buying...
Fantasy 16.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And the sort of PlayStation fanboys have cracked the absolute shits that it's on average getting around 80s, 75 to 80s for review scores. Because the gameplay is amazing, but the story is either non-existent or fucking terrible.
Well, even some of the gameplay is missing because they call it an RPG, but there's no RPG mechanic.
No. It's a hack and slash.
That's a weird thing that's happening recently. It's like, it's an RPG. It's like, where's the RPG part of this? Like, it's in there. You've got characters.
It's an RPG. It's a real player game. Yeah.
But the point I was trying to make, look at your cost value analysis these days. Say you could only afford, like, let's take the console price out of it just for this discussion. You can afford one console and one game. You can buy a couple of really cool exclusives, don't get me wrong, on that PlayStation. You know, God of War, Ratchet and Clank, although that's going PC at the end of next month. Horizon Forbidden West, although I expect that'll come to PC at some point. It's kind of the caveat for everything these days. We'll get it eventually. PC's getting too big.
In this, they also stated a minimum 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Point is, stuff's coming, but you could pick any of those. But if you get your Xbox, the same price, at least in Australia, for a copy of any AAA game, it's going to be about $100. Cool. That's multiple months of Game Pass with hundreds of games. So when you spend the weekend and knock out that first title for your PlayStation, that's it. You're done. You got to spend another $100. Xbox, you just keep going. Next game. Play some indies. Try some other stuff.
Try some games you wouldn't even look at. If you had to spend the $80, you wouldn't even fucking look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something like play one game on Game Pass and pay for Game Pass, and you've effectively paid for Game Pass for like 6 months.
Especially like launch titles when they drop the Game Pass, like
day and date when it releases.
I'm so glad we were able to play Redfall on Game Pass.
Oh fuck no! None of us would have played it if we had to spend the $80 or $100, whatever the fuck it was.
On that, I would be demanding a refund.
I probably would have been the only person who bought it, and I'd have refunded it.
Yeah.
And I don't typically refund games. I'm pretty down to accept my own bad purchases.
I would have watched it on Twitch, and that would have been it.
But
Pretty much.
getting to sit down and play a good couple of hours of that thing, even try do some co-op, and find out how badly implemented that was, it's like, thank fuck for Game Pass.
Yeah.
So
It's so good.
if you bought an Xbox and you could only buy one game, like in Australia, they cost $100.
If we're lucky, normally it's 120.
Or yeah, give it 100 to 120 for a base game. If you just bought the console and just spent that on the Game Pass, the Game Pass is $10.95 a month. You can get 10 months of Game Pass for the price of one game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Game Pass isn't one game.
No, exactly.
So many
That's
games.
hundreds of games. And if you say you didn't do the $10.95, you went to the $15.95, the ultimate Game Pass. You've got all the games on the console and your PC.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many other fucking benefits with it. I don't know how PlayStation's going to handle the next fucking generation, but they've got a big step to take.
I think that's why they're getting so bent out of shape about this deal. It's like a last-ditch effort to shank Microsoft in some fashion. They're already losing. We know they're not doing well against Game Pass and everything else. So they're just going to take whatever hits they can. It's like, fuck it. If we can get a black eye in, we look good.
But in this, like, a lot of it, they're already looking at the next generation. Sony's very much looking like to cut off their nose to spite their face.
Yeah.
Because they're saying that they want console parity for games released in the same day. It has to be the exact same, like, the same COD that releases on Xbox has to run the exact same as it does on PlayStation. But they're also saying that if Microsoft, or if they manage to buy ActiBliz, they're not going to give them PS6 dev editions. So they can't develop the game for the console because they're not going to get the fucking consoles. It's the same reason why Minecraft on PS5 is the PS4 version, because they never gave them the PS5 dev kits.
So it's like,
Right.
how do you expect us to keep being multi-platform with you, which we're happy
Yeah.
to do, if you want to give us the
Yeah.
hardware to make it on?
Yeah. It's like we want the same product, but we're not going to give you the dev kits to make the same fucking product. Like, that doesn't fucking work, bud. Shit.
It's not great.
It's real dumb.
Every time they fucking say one thing in this, they're doing three other things behind the scenes to undercut themselves and whatever they're trying to fucking do.
It's
I was just
bizarre.
hoping people won't look into it, but if there's one thing we've learned from the internet is that armchair detectives exist. You leave a
You
bunch
don't
of
even need to
nerds
be an
with some
armchair
bad news.
detective in this. You just need someone with a modicum of common sense saying, this is fucking dumb.
It's like I don't understand when any like company is like, oh no one's gonna look into this. Like, yeah, someone is. Someone's gonna be bored and find your thing and do a deep dive for shits and giggles. And they're gonna find your secrets and expose them for fun.
Yeah.
But
Without
so
question.
in this whole thing, the heads of Microsoft and Xbox divisions were there. They've been there for the entire thing, not just there for their depositions. They've sat in the witness stand, and they're happy to stand up and answer any fucking question that gets thrown at them. It's quite interesting.
Nice.
But the head of PlayStation, whose head office is a 30-minute drive, who's literally across the bay from where this courthouse is,
yeah.
didn't turn up. He submitted a video response to specific
Yeah, we talked
questions.
about this last week, I think.
I maintain a video witness statement or anything else should only be reserved for people who are not safe in the courtroom.
You're pretty much on your deathbed. But
Deathbed, or if you're like facing someone who's like has assaulted you in some way. If there's physical danger, like don't go. It's fine.
they've said, or Sony have said, he can't be there. He's off on some other business. He can't be there. It's just impossible. We have to do a video thing. And so the court said, fine, we'll listen to it, I suppose. On the day of the trial where they listened to the video thing, he'd done a tour through a dev studio in Japan saying, just stopped in for a tour, a great day. and it's just him with a photo with a fucking lead dev while they're having fucking lunch. It's like,
Jesus Christ.
really?
Mate.
Like, god fucking damn.
It's like, he's too busy.
That's not shooting yourself in the foot. That's just cutting your foot off and kicking yourself with it.
God damn.
It's like, it's so dumb because it's like, literally, it's like, he's too busy doing MacGuffin work. Like, mate, you started this fight. Just turn up. Just appear.
Yeah.
Idiocy.
Like, from the very... There's a few hurdles that the FTC had to reach to be able to make any points to be able to stop this deal going through.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to reach any of them.
Have they gotten close to it?
They haven't just stumbled at hurdles, they've coat-hangered themselves on them. They've done nothing but flounder for fucking 5 days. The final... Well, tomorrow morning, well, effectively... I think it's about 4 o'clock our time, the courthouse opens over there and they start going through it.
Yeah.
So Friday for us, Thursday for them. So this is the final day of it. They're expecting to get through the last of the questioning and the last of the deposition by their midday tomorrow. And they're expecting to have the full verdict by tomorrow afternoon.
Nice.
So
That'd be good.
by tomorrow, I dare say by Saturday for us, Xbox will have put the money down. I reckon they'll just fucking close on it.
Well, they have to. They have to clear this injunction, which is what they're working on tomorrow, our time. Because the 30th is the deadline on the ActBliz deal. And if they can't lock it down
have
by...
to renegotiate.
Yeah, which is mostly just going to end up with ActBliz getting their payout for you not having bought us, and Microsoft wandering away going, whatevs, and not having anything new.
But in this whole fucking thing, the FTC is going to get... I think they have to pay a whole heap of the fucking court fees for this if it doesn't go their way.
Well, if the deal falls over because they have started this court case on very strenuous grounds, they are going to be fucked.
Yeah.
Microsoft could turn around going, you just cost us a $1 billion deal. Repayment, motherfucker.
No, if the deal doesn't go through, that means the FTC won.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, there's a thing in this... I can't remember where it is now. I was reading it, depending on which way this goes. But if the Xbox don't get blocked and it goes... Like, if Xbox win the trial, the FTC ends up having to pay a whole heap of fucking court costs for bringing a frivolous suit through. Because it should never have gone to fucking court in the first place. If FTC win and it does get held up, then Xbox has to pay the money, the $3 billion, and they have to renegotiate. They can't purchase for 10 years, whatever the fuck the deal is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just a FTC lost, it's FTC lost. They haven't just spent a fuckload of tax dollars chasing a frivolous suit. They also have to pay the costs of the company they failed to fucking stop.
Yeah.
But that's not salt in the wound. That's salt, lemon, and then dragged through a fucking salt flat.
Yeah. Like, I swear, with the way it's all going, if there isn't an investigation of the FTC after this, I'll be very disappointed. Because the fact that they mention Sony more times than consumers alone is enough to have red flags go like, ha, you're not doing this for the greater good, you're doing this because corporate daddy wanted you to.
Yeah. Well, from the get-go, it's all been sort of a political shit show.
Yeah.
Like, the FTC, the EU, and the CMA, they've all just wanted to be able to say, we got big tech to bend at our will. We made them do this.
Yeah.
So when the CMA has tried to stop it in the UK, but then the EU said, we don't have a problem with this, it made the CMA look like fuckwits.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why? What's your problem with it? Like, the EU's passed it without a fucking issue, and they were fucking more strict than us.
It's like, and
the CMA is having a hard time saying, well, this is why we stopped it. They're having the same issue the FTC's now fucking having.
Yeah. Like, it's so very strange. I know they just want to stall it for as long as they can. That's why they're doing shit. But, like, just let it go at this point. You're just making yourself look bad.
If you're going to go this far, at least have a reason for why, like, a valid reason why it could be stopped.
Like,
or a valid reason for for continuing. If you don't have one, fuck, don't volunteer for the firing squad.
Yeah. Like, it's just a very odd decision all around, to be honest.
Let's face it, they've decided to fuck around, and by Saturday, we'll have found out.
We really are in the find out era, aren't we? Like, billionaires have realized that if they die, that like the world will laugh at it. So we're no longer like dealing with them as people. Corporations have like can't do their infighting through governments anymore without looking like fucking children. Like, finally, we're in the find out era. I'm happy for this.
I mean, I'm not super happy with all
how
the
much
fuck around.
find out there is out there. Like, there's a lot of find out to be had.
Oh yeah, there's way more find out to be had. Like next month, we find out what happens with space travel. They couldn't deal with a bunch of like what is it? Not ozones, pressure things. Let's send them into space. Yeah, they would send them into space where it's even worse. Like, okay.
Look, I reckon it's probably going to be fine. Mostly just because Virgin's done a lot more work on this than most of these other guys. They certainly didn't go, fuck safety regulations.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like,
they didn't do an interview saying, we're going to do it anyway. It's only these big tech companies that are stopping us.
The real question is, do you reckon Branson's going to be on the flight with them? Is he going to actually put his money where his mouth is?
No way in fuck.
Like,
although, if I was the pilot for that thing, I would probably smuggle some, like, baby-level playset and put it on front of the control panel and be like, ready for takeoff?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That would be amazing.
In the countdown, 5, 4, cow goes moo.
Nah, you just go,
duck goes quack.
It's got all the little pop-up numbers. 5, 4.
Yes.
5, 4, 3.
That just reminds me of, do you remember like Are Real Monsters? There was a episode where they find one of those like speak and spell things where Crumb pulls the chords like the cow goes moo, the duck says quack, the politician says I don't recall.
Yes.
That has stuck in my head for so many years.
The billionaire goes, are you sure it's safe?
Oh no, had any of them asked that question, we wouldn't have had the issues.
Anyway, we're out past an hour, so I think we're done for this week.
It's been a very meandery one.
Yeah.
We've let the squirrels loose today.
There was fuck all other news out there at the moment.
We tried. We swear we tried.
I mean, like, and we had, like, a couple in the back pocket, you know, like, Blizzard got DDoSed and Diablo is down. Yay.
But at the same time, we have kicked, like, Blizzard so many times at this point. It just feels bad.
But they did release a patch for Diablo, and it has made it a fuckload easier in the earlier game.
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah. They basically, it was all buffs, no nerf.
Yeah. Because they've nerfed the guts out of everything that made the game viable before.
Yeah. Fuck. Alright, like I said, we're done. Peace out, guys.
Have a good one.
See ya.